The Comrades Marathon is probably the toughest race of its kind in the world, and in 1973 it was the down run from Pietermaritzburg to Durban.
What a magnificent finish for a man who was well beaten. In his right hand he carried the mayor's message from the mayor of Pietermaritzburg to Durban City, and Levick, wearing a UCT cap, wins the 1973 Comrades Marathon. Oh, what a magnificent run for a man who was trailing all the way. He beat a man who had this race completely buttoned up, and I'm going to get across now and see if I can get Dave Levick to say a word into this microphone. I never really believed I'd ever win the Comrades, and still can't believe it. I suppose it will take a while to digest. Just wish my mother could have been here today.
Winner Dave Levick, commentator Michael Toms. Back now to Reg Haswell and boxing in the 70s.
Yes, well now, Pierre Fourie was in some ways a freak because he had no amateur career of any description. He was practically a novice when he turned professional, and Alan Tauiel took him over as a trainer and did a very good job on him. And technically, he was one of the best boxers we've ever produced. Unfortunately, Pierre lacked a powerful punch, which is, of course, a great handicap in the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. He also is weak at infighting, and that is another bad deficiency in a world-class contender. But outfighting, of course, he's excellent. His jabbing is excellent. His ring craft is very good. And, of course, his outstanding quality is his ability to take punches. I don't think we've ever produced a boxer that can take the punishment and still stand up that Pierre Fourie has taken. And some of his achievements, like going to America and going 15 rounds with the great Bob Foster, was, although he was on the losing end, was nevertheless a wonderful performance.
And in goes Fourie, a mighty left and a right. He stumps away. He rattles Foster. It's the impact of those two mighty blows. In it goes. In he goes again. Fourie, left. Tremendous blows landed on Foster's body, though. He can't reach Foster's head now, and he misses completely with a left cross. Foster was taken aback in that first half minute by the assault from Pierre Fourie, spurred on by the call of no. A mighty swinging left hook from Fourie, missed completely. Fourie is really attacking now. He's taking the fight to his opponent. He's been spurred on by the sound of those South African calls of face-on. And he's fixing it in the center of the ring, and they finish.
Assignment Albuquerque. And early in December, Bob Foster came to South Africa to defend his title again.
The greatest fight I've ever seen. And I personally don't think that there's ever been a fight like this anywhere else in the world, was Romeo Anaya and Arnold Taylor in November 1973. That was an unforgettable, absolutely fantastic fight. And Arnold Taylor, with superb courage and wonderful condition, survived 5 knockdowns to score that knockout in the 14th round when he dropped Anaya as if he'd been poleaxed. I think Anaya was on the canvas for about 10 minutes before he got up. That was simply a great fight with a wonderful finish.
This time Taylor comes forward very quickly, and he's after his man. He's got him up against the ropes, and they're really swapping both now. And a lovely left from Taylor, finds the mark and another left, and he hits Anale in the face there, and he follows it up with a right cross. A left and a right, and he goes for another right cross there, but this time Anaya just moves out of harm's way. He's got both his gloves right up high, and Taylor comes back again, and this time a left to the body. And Taylor coming in with a left, and he just grazes Anaya's head with a right, and Anaya swings as Taylor is right in the center now, and he's going after his man, and he's got a lovely right cross again, working for him, and just getting through, and following it up with a left and a right there. Anaya stops the first one, and the other one lances his head. They're right in the center, toe-to-toe now, and it is Taylor who comes forward, and he got Anaya! They got him with a lovely right. He's down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, out! And Taylor is the champion of the world. Taylor is the champion of the world. He dropped him with a right cross, and South Africa, after 23 and a half years, has another world champion.
An unforgettable moment, but sadly, less than 9 months later, Taylor lost his world bantamweight title on points in his first defence against the Korean Soo Wong Hong in Durban. His return fight with Anaya was another tremendous battle, with Taylor once again winning by a knockout. 1974 saw the retirement of two great South African cricketers, Ali Bacher and Don Mackay-Coghill, but not before they'd played a vital role in Transvaal's exciting Gillette Cup final victory over Natal.
Mackay-Coghill turns. The field is spread wide. All 5 that are allowed are out on the boundary's edge. Trimborn just as likely to be bowled as he is to hit a 4. Cogs to him, and he does. He opens his shoulders and he's hitting this, and he's going to get 4. He's got 4. It was an agricultural swipe in which he backed away towards square leg, swung the bat at it horizontally, and hit it wide of the bowler's right hand as he came in left hand over the wicket. Natal have an outside chance. They want 11 from 3 balls. Can they take 11 from 3 balls? The light gets the gloomier and gloomier. The crowd a hub. Mackay-Coghill, where would he bowl it? Would he bowl it wide? And this could be a wicket. It could be a wicket, Mackay-Coghill. And it's all over. Barker catches it. Barker has caught him. And Transvaal has won by 10 runs. Transvaal has won by 10 runs in the last over of the match. And what more fitting? Caught Backer, bowled Mackay-Coghill. It is a fairy story. Transvaal has, for the first time, won the Gillette Cup. Transvaal has won by 10 runs. The final wicket has gone down. Trimborn caught the skipper Backer, bowled his first lieutenant Mackay-Coghill, and Trimborn is out for 4. Groves is not out 43. 249 in reply to the Transvaal 259, and I think there were 2 balls left. I think that was the 4th ball of the final over of the match. Could things have been tighter? Could the finish have been more happy for those who love their sentiment as well as their cricket?
Charles Fortune as eloquent as ever. On the athletics track, in the National Championships over Easter, it was again Fanie van Zyl and Danie Malan fighting it out stride for stride in the 1500 metres.
It's now Van Zyl and Malan. The crowd are leaping up and down in front of us. Tremendous excitement. Van Zyl's in front. Malan still at his shoulder. And Smith is now 20 metres behind. Fanie van Zyl must win, but here comes the burst. Here comes the kick from Malan. Can Malan catch him? It's Van Zyl. It's Malan. It's Van Zyl. Still it's Van Zyl. Malan can't catch him. Here comes Malan making a desperate effort. It's Van Zyl. Van Zyl will hold on. 10 to go. Van Zyl breaks the tape now. And only half a metre behind him is Danie Malan. And then the plucky Smith from the Free State comes in next, and now Leach of Eastern Province to take 4th place.
A new South African record for Van Zyl. Easter time is also tennis time in South Africa, and it was good to have Max Robertson back at Ellis Park for the closed classic.
30, 15.
So 2 points from winning this title now. Patterson serves the left-hand court. To the forehand, too long. Tremendous return of serve by Alexander. He wishes it had been right. Second serve from Patterson is right to the backhand. High kicker, return. Patterson a forehand volley, cross-court. Alexander runs, gets it down the line. Patterson's there, cuts off with a backhand volley, playing it, using his body as a counterbalance to play the shot, and looking round, turning full circle to look round at the effect of that shot, and sees it was right, and now he's at match point. Serves the right-hand court, down the centre, backhand return. Patterson a forehand volley. Alexander backhand cross-court. Patterson cuts off, stabs it. He's won! He's won with a beautiful stab volley that never rose.
More athletics, and for sheer excitement, nothing in the series of international meetings matched the 5,000 metres race between Ewout Bonzet and Titus Mamabola. and they go sprinting now towards the back straight, and the crowd rises. Bonzet increases his pace, a kick from Mamabola, and a kick also from Tembo at the back, and there's still only 1.5 meters separating these three. Mamabola makes his challenge on Bonzet. They've got 300 to go. Bonzet holds off the challenge, but Mamabola tries again. They've shrugged off Tembo over Rudisha. It's between the two South African runners now. It's Bonzet and Mamabola through the 200. It's Bonzet and Mamabola going together. Mamabola makes an effort. A mighty effort. He's drawn up to the right shoulder of Bonzet. The crowd are shouting their heads off. We can hardly see anything as they turn for home. There's 60 meters to go. Can we see through John Vereenen's mighty frame? As they've got 50 to go, we don't know who's winning. It's going to be Bonzet. Mamabola challenges. Bonzet. Mamabola again. Bonzet will get it with 50 to go. 40 to go. It's Bonzet from Mamabola. Bonzet now. Mamabola second. What a race. In third place, Tembo of Rudisha. And you should have seen the reaction on John Vereenen's face there as he watched it. John Verreenen, who was to break the world discus record a year later. Will any South African ever forget the incomparable British Lions of 1974 and the rugby Willie John McBride's men played in the second international at Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria?
Now here's Germes to throw into the line-out. It's bobbing about in the middle there. Babel gets it to Bosch going right. Bosch now, a right-footed kick up to the 25. JPR Williams again there, takes it first bounce. Is he going to start a run? No, he's not. He steadies himself and right-foots it, but this time McCullum is there to catch it. He runs up to the halfway line. He puts a little chip kick, and he's going to catch his own kick, but it's bounced awkwardly. And Bennett is back there, so is Steele, and now Bennett under the shadow of his post is running across the field. Bennett's going on his own. What's he going to do? He's jinked. Bennett's on his own up to the halfway line. And up there with him now is Mervyn Davis. Mervyn Davis is given inside to McBride. McBride to Brown. Brown to Gareth Edwards. He's running up the touchline. He's given it inside to Dwatney. And eventually, has the ball out of play? No, it's still in play. J.J. Williams has come across there. He's chasing it up to the line. The Lions are going to score. J.J. Williams has scored again. J.J. Williams has scored again. After passing into passing, driving forward the length of the field.
An excited Welshman, Alan Williams. 28-9 was the final score, South Africa's biggest defeat in international history. The series was decided in Port Elizabeth with wing three-quarter J.J. Williams scoring another 2 tries. But in the final international at Ellis Park, the Springboks did have one moment of glory.
Muller now to throw it right way to the back there. Grobler gets it, palms it down. A pass there out now to Schlebusch. Schlebusch runs up to the 25, gives it to Pope. Pope is over the 25. He's running for the line. JPR Williams, a great tackle. And an inside pass. The ball is over and the Springboks have scored a try. The Springboks have scored a try. A great run down the right by the wing, Pope. And it's Cronje, the centre, who's come up. And at long last, the Springboks have crossed the Lions' line.
Into the dying moments of the match, 13 all, then drama and controversy. Good jump by Ralston. Down the line it comes to Milliken. Milliken now. JPR on the line. JPR breaks through. He's got one man to beat. He's not there yet. He's found Slattery saying he goes to the line. He's over. Slattery's over. But has he been allowed? No, there were half a dozen Springboks who came back in defence there. And it's not allowed. No try. Well, Slattery is not the last man off the ground there. But 5-yard scrum it is. 5-yard scrum. And the Lions still in a good position. They're put in. JPR made most of the running. And Slattery took the ball and almost got there, but all hands piled in. Now Gareth Edwards on the blind side. Out to J.J. Williams, who cuts into the right. J.J. storming for the line. He's not going to get through either. Now the second phase. Can the Lions get it? No. The match is over. It is drawn. It is 13 points all, and it's all over. 3-0 the series, and for the first time this century, the British Isles had beaten South Africa in South Africa. While all was not well at home, a young tearaway South African, Jody Scheckter, kept the flag flying round the Grand Prix circuits of the world. His first win was in Sweden, and then came the British Grand Prix at Brands Hatch.
And here he comes, absolutely on his own and very swift and very smooth and deserving of his victory, which must surely be his. now as he goes down towards Dingledale. In a few seconds he'll go past Nicky Lauda, whose Ferrari's offside rear tire is flailing the thread as it goes now almost down onto the rim. It'll be a sad thing for Nicky Lauda, but he knows why he was beaten. But for Jody Scheckter, married this year, he must be a very happy man today, and to see the finish back to Robin Richards.
And Nicky Lauda has dropped even further back because up into second position, and here the leader and the winner comes, and the John Player British Grand Prix is won by the South African Jody Scheckter in the Tyrrell Ford.
And Jody went on to finish third in the World Drivers' Championship in his first full season of Grand Prix racing. Back home, and for Vivian Granger, a memorable Castle Cup soccer final.
If only for the wonderful spirit shown by the Pretoria Club Arcadia, who beat Highlands Park. If only, too, for the wonderful spirit shown by the Praetorians. They came over in their thousands by buses and in cars, and I suspect that some even came on foot. But the enthusiasm that night when their side won the cup had to be seen to be believed.
Picked up by McCann, headed back. Naudet comes to his feet, he traps it neatly and sends a long ball down onto the penalty here. This is dangerous, but yes, it gave us the ball in the goal. The ball is in the goal. It looks dangerous, and it was Steve Wegerle who came up there while both Mickey Rose and I think it was Balson just hesitated for what split second, and it was Steve Wegerle who just pushed his right foot out, and then he turned away. He knew the ball was in the net as it was on its way.
Steve Wegerle, who was named Footballer of the Year. The final score in that match, 2-0. Davis Cup tennis again, and history is made at Ellis Park.
3 match points, 3 Davis Cup tie points to South Africa. 2 Pinatar. Fault too long. Pinatar played it, only got the wood of the racket to it. All on this. 2 Pinatar. Pinatar returns. Macmillan puts out a court. Macmillan at the net. Volleys wide.
40, 50.
Hewitt to Bertolucci. Bertolucci returns. Out of court. Out of court. It's all over. South Africa has done it. That return of service off the backhand goes out of court, and South Africa has won 7-5, 6-4, 10-8. And by 3 matches to love. The Davis Cup tie has come and has been won. South Africa are Davis Cup tie finalists for the first time. This October 1974, a landmark in the story of South African tennis.
And when the other finalists, India, defaulted, the coveted trophy was awarded to South Africa. In France, the rugby Springboks achieved new cohesion in the rain and mud, and in the first international at Toulouse, their try was a real beauty.
Gerald Bosch has restarted play. From the ball, John Williams swings the ball back to Oosthuizen. Oosthuizen puts it down the left-hand touchline. Gear goes for a difficult rolling ball. In for the tackle goes Fourie. Fourie pulls it down. South Africa storming through. They're looking good now, up to the 25. The forwards are driving hard into the loose. They ruck it. They have it. Out right to Gerald Bosch. Bosch inside to Ellis. Ellis makes a break right through the forwards. He's got 6 men to beat. Ellis has pulled down 50 yards from the goal line. Van Heerden hands the ball out to Duplessis. Out to Robertson. Still going. Robertson to stay on. He puts away right. Big Stoppelback has scored for South Africa.
Final score 13-4 to South Africa, and with a 10-8 victory in Paris, South African rugby was on the way back again. This was confirmed during the tests in 1975. Further triumph at Lagunita, with golfers Bobby Cole and Dale Hayes winning the World Cup.
Well, the course was really a super golf course. They had the biggest greens I've ever played on. Some of the greens measured about 75 yards long, and the greens, well, the whole course was in super condition. They'd grown the fairways in, so the fairways were very narrow. It wasn't terribly long, and I would say it suited Bobby and I very well. Bobby played 4 of the finest rounds of golf I think I've ever seen. In the 3rd round, we played with the United States team, Lee Trevino and Hale Irwin, who's US PGA champion and the United States Open champion. And Bobby outplayed them by so far it was a joke.
And of course, Gary Player won 2 of the world's major tournaments had his name enshrined in the World Golf Hall of Fame and was again voted South Africa's Sportsman of the Year. In December, BBC racing correspondent Peter Bromley visited South Africa for the first time to call the Holiday Inns at Turffontein.
They're coming now to the 500-metre mark, and it is still in the centre of the course, agitation, and they're spread right across. Diamond Prince comes next, then wins a lad, then on the outside Sledgehammer. Finishing well is Sabre. They're coming now to the 300-metre mark, and it is Elevation that bursts through to take it up, and it's Elevation that goes to the front from Armistice and Diamond Prince, and then some Sledgehammer, and Queen of All is finishing well, but it's Elevation now, going to the line, 150 yards to go. Elevation is going to win this great race, the third year running. Queen of All is not going to catch her. Elevation, Queen of All, Sledgehammer is third, Armistice fourth, then comes Sabre, then Numerator. What a fantastic performance by this great horse. Elevation has won it. He's carried 121 pounds and ridden by the Cape champion Garth Fuller. He's done the dream race.
A crowd wild with emotion over a horse. But what a horse. Elevation. And now let's race or roar into 1975 with Jody Scheckter at the wheel and Jackie Stewart at the microphone.
Well, Jody Scheckter's on his last lap. A racing driver at this time, he's very cool, he's very calm, but he's also just a tiny bit nervous. He's driving in reserve. He doesn't want to make a mistake. He could perhaps let Carlos Reutemann catch him up a little bit on this last lap. It would be better to do that than overstress the car, because it's even been known in Grand Prix motor racing for something to occur on this last and final lap. But certainly Jody Scheckter today has done a wonderful job. I'm personally tremendously proud of his performance. For me, of course, it's a great thrill. To be part of the Elf Team Tyrrell team is almost a mark of greatness nowadays, because my goodness, how he's taken over. He took over at a time when the team was very depressed, and Jody Scheckter has instigated the enthusiasm that's allowed this team to do what it has done. He's got at least a 4-second lead as they go in through the S's in this last lap. He's opening up his gap. Carlos Reutemann has certainly decided to settle for second place, and this must make Jody a lot more comfortable. One more corner to go. Jody's in second gear. He's accelerating out of Leacock. He's into third gear now. It's only a matter of a few hundred laps from the end of the motor race. Jody Scheckter from South Africa, driving for Elf Team Tyrrell, is going to win the South African Grand Prix, and the checkered flag goes to Jody Scheckter. What a wonderful...
And as the champagne bottles popped, Jody Scheckter bubbled with excitement.
Well, it's fantastic. I mean, it's a thing that you wished to win more than any other Grand Prix, and I just feel fantastic.
Jody, everything has gone wrong in practice. The crash, the engine this morning. Jackie Stewart says you have to have bad luck to win a race for Tyrrell.
Well, after the bad luck we had and the engine blow up in warm-up, according to bad luck, I should have won it by 4 laps, but that was good enough.
Indeed it was. On to even fiercer pursuits. In April, a brave Piri Fourie challenged yet again for the world light heavyweight crown and came within a whisker of outpointing the new champion, the animal from Argentina, Victor Galindez.
And now again he goes in trying to mix it with Galindez, and this is surely not the way. And now Galindez is complaining that Piri Fourie was butting him, and Fourie claims that he was butting him. Now the action is furious. Piri Fourie climbing into his opponent, but Galindez is clubbing away at him now, and there's definitely a cut over the right eye there of the world champion Victor Galindez. He's in a spot of bury, but he's now absolutely infuriated, and Piri Fourie is going in. He catches him with a lovely right there, and now the Argentinian swinging left and right furiously. He's an angry man, and this has really exploded into action now, and there he goes, clubbing away with a left and a right. He misses. Piri Fourie makes him miss badly, and Fourie too has got blood on the side of his face, but I don't think that's from a cut. I think it's from the blood of Galindez, and Galindez catches him with a tremendous left hook, and Fourier's in trouble for a moment, and then they wrestle away down here in front of us, and they are pushed apart by the referee, Mr. Waldemar Schmidt, and they box on. Piri Fourie showing a great deal of aggression. He takes a good punch though, then he flies into his opponent, who's clubs away, and Fourie again, his head going in there, a grimace on the face of Galindez, the world champion, as he's forced against the ropes, and Piri Fourie pummels away at him, and they box on after being pulled apart. Galindez goes in, using his strength now to wrestle his opponent, but the blood pouring from that eye at the end of round.
Trevor Quirk at the ringside. 5 months later, Fourie again suffered the disappointment of defeat in a return bout with Galindez. this time a split points decision. Almost unnoticed, a contingent of South African athletes slipped out of the country at the end of July and walked away with 5 titles at the British AAA Championships at Crystal Palace. One of them was in the 1500 metres.
And as they take the bell, it's Dani Malan, the South African, a world-class runner at this distance, who goes into the lead, but little Phil Banning has stuck in well behind him. It's Banning in 2nd place at the moment. Barry Smith is in 3rd place. Frank Clement is in 4th place, and behind him it looks as if Douglas has moved up. Melville too, the New Zealander, is there. But at the moment it's Dani Malan as he goes halfway down the back straight. Seems to have built up a lead of 2 or 3 metres. And the time, Peter?
It's 1200 metres, 2 minutes 57.8, so the pace quickening very much.
200 metres to go, and Malan seems to be widening his lead now. Is that Clement making a break? Clement is kicking on the bend, so this is going to be one heck of a finish now. But Malan perhaps has got the power to do it. He comes out of the bend and into the home straight, and it's Dani Malan leading by some 10 metres now from Frank Clement. A furious race on 2 for 3rd place. Little Phil Banning might hold it, but it's going to be Malan with 50 metres to go. Malan is kicking hard. He's got the power to do it. A world-class performance perhaps by Malan. Coming ahead in 2nd place is Frank Clement, and a desperately close thing for 3rd place. I think it was Barry Smith who just took 3rd place from Phil Banning. But what an impressive run by the South African Dani Malan.
Nowhere in the whole wide world could greater drama, tension and excitement have been found than at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein during the dying moments of the 1975 Currie Cup rugby final.
And I'm sure that we're going to have a final whistle. And I know that a lot of Free State supporters said, let's rather lose here than share the Currie Cup. It's Northern's ball, is it? Yes, Northern's ball, obviously. Throw to number 4, big jump by Northern's. Good work there by Louis Moorman, holding it. Trying to catch Free State offside, but they're not going to be caught offside. Back it comes to Gerber. They miss Gerber. Christo Wagenaar gets the ball. He's tackled. This could be trouble if Free State can gain possession. Out it goes to the left wing, Thoresen. He's making ground. And Northern's up to the 25. Dangerous position for Free State. Can they get it back from the ruck? Northern's waiting from it. Good work by Moorman. Duplessis out to Gerber. Out of Wagenaar. Wagenaar chasing it. Pierce, Spies gets it. This could be a try. Spies is going to score the winning try for Northern Transvaal. Northerns have won the Currie Cup with great work being done in the line out on the far side in the dying moments there by Louis Moorman. And in the end, the ball just went out down the 3/4 line, out to Gerber, out to Wagenaar, who kicked ahead. The ball bounced high, and Pierce Spies, who must be all of 6'2", stretched out his right hand, grasped the ball, and had virtually nobody to beat, and scored in the right corner for the winning try. And Northerns are going to be the worthy winners of the 1975 Currie Cup. Here's Thoresen's last kick, and then the final whistle. It's a magnificent kick. It's through the middle. It's over, and it's no side. So Northerns have won the
12-6 the score, and a delirious Morne Pretorius on an unseasonably wet and cold Saturday afternoon in Bloemfontein. Well, there we have it. Just a few of the great moments in South African sport between the years 1950 and 1975. There have also been many trials and tribulations, but if South African sportsmen of all races, together with visiting international sportsmen, can link arms and sing together, as they did at Greenpoint in Cape Town after the first multinational athletics meeting in 1971, our future will be secure.